Real Raw offers us a chance to have a microphone, a stage, form ecosystems, make more money in less time with more magic, all with the use of Sean Callagy's formula, which he's been curating for over 23 years. And who's Sean Callagy?
Oh, forget about that. Thank you very much.
Sean Callagy.
We're all good. We're all good. Thank you, Vivian. I want to talk about who Vivian is, who everybody else is here. We're going to cut my intro. Yes, I think that was a valuable add to the Real Raw. I appreciate it. We'll figure that out later. Amazing job, Vivian. Who are these incredible people that we have here today?
Well, we have the most incredible Jake Cortez, who's at the gym as we speak with his fabulous company logo in the background, changemorelives.org, a nonprofit that helps end the cycle of incarceration for youth and adults. Jake believes dreams, goals, and objectives are only as powerful as the desire and energy you feed them. And he would know, for his passion comes from his own story of perseverance, having overcome violence, abuse, and his own incarceration. And he can be seen on his TED Talk called Soul Powered Prison Break.
Wow.
Welcome, Jake.
Jake, what's up, brother?
Happy to be here. Always good to see you, Sean, and all these lovely people.
Yeah, always good to
all
see
these big smiles.
Feel your heart from here and your path. Fun fact, Jake, what's up? Give us a fun fact.
Fun fact, I love riding bike, and when I was living in Miami, actually in Boca Raton, I used to ride my bike from Boca Raton to Hollywood, Florida, which is about a good 30 miles.
Yes, no joke, right? The home of Margaritaville. Because you know what? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Welcome, pal. All right, so Vivian. But
we also have Sid Peddinti, and Sid runs the Impact Accelerator, also changemorelives.org. He's a business and nonprofit attorney consultant in all matters of business. In fact, he's all about double down bottom line companies, revenue, and impact. And with the use of his recession-proof business formula that he created, Sid is most proud to help businesses grow, thrive, and avoid bankruptcy. Today, he incorporates an education and philanthropic component that enables businesses to make more, give more, and change more lives in the process. So welcome, Sid.
Hi.
Sid, how are you?
Welcome to be here.
And where
Happy
you
to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. Where are you coming from today?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Boom, Texas is in the house all over. And how about a fun fact, Sid?
Fun fact, I spend a lot of time with my kids. I do a lot of, homebound family stuff that I enjoy.
Beautiful.
That a lot of entrepreneurs don't do sometimes, or a lot of people don't do. But I cook, I clean, I do all those things that.
We're going to keep you.
Yeah.
It's fun for me.
I enjoy all those things.
Sid, how old are your children?
My kids are 4.5 and a year and a half. So two little ones. And then my wife's almost like my kids, so she's 30 something.
It's funny. She said the same thing to Vivian about you, but we'll come back to that.
That's fine.
So beautiful job, Sid. Welcome. And oh my God, what a blessing having your children at that age. Mine are 20, 18, and 16. Beautiful age, beautiful time. But, those age groups, enjoy, brother. Awesome. So Vivian.
In from Washington State, we have Jeff Hargan. He works as a teamster for Boeing in the transportation department, has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Kaplan University. And he is a sergeant first class in the U.S. Army Reserves, where he trains cadets in the ROTC program. So thank you for your service and welcome, Jeff.
Yes, Jeff, thank you for your service and welcome here today.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for letting me come aboard. I couldn't be here. I got to give a shout out to Chris Crone here. Okay, he's the one that introduced me to you, and I'm looking forward to this.
Love Chris to no end, brother. And how about a fun fact?
All right, a fun fact, I like archery. It's more of a therapeutic thing for me, so even in that, I can use the formula. Finding those little micro distinctions to improve my shot there. So
Awesome. Make it happen on the archery course. Back when I still had my vision, I used to truly love and enjoy shooting bows and arrows with my dad, a la Robin Hood and company. And I had the unique distinction, with no intention whatsoever, of course, of having to have shot an arrow when I was like 8 and actually split another arrow, not in the bullseye, but it was like, yes, I'm like Robin Hood, I split an arrow. So it was a lot of fun. Yes. So Jeff,
awesome.
Yes.
I love that. Gina Davis also has, the actress. I love her so much, but she learned how to pick that up and became like, I don't know, she got some awards and stuff with that. So there you have it.
Vivian, we have Long Beach Island coming up soon. And since we're like perfect segue, would you be opposed, and yes, I don't have sight, but I know you trust me a lot. So would you be opposed if we put an apple on your head and I shot it off on Long Beach Island with a bow and arrow? Would that work for you?
No.
Vivian, I thought you trusted me. Okay, back to you.
Thank you. Good try. You almost had me. We have Renee Deal from New Jersey, a district sales manager at Paychex and now one of the founders of Payday Payroll Resources. Welcome, Renee.
Thanks.
How are you?
Glad to be here.
Welcome.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. What part of New Jersey are you from?
I'm South Jersey. I'm in the Belmar with the W. So
Yep.
right outside of Philly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, welcome. And how about a fun fact?
Fun fact is I have been with my husband since I was 13 years old.
Boom. That is an amazing fun fact.
Romeo and Juliet.
Congratulations, Renee. That's a
Thank
great
you.
story.
Let me jump in, Sean. It's Adam. Of course, coming from the payroll space, we had an incredible conversation. So many synergies. And she's also a Platt partner. She's very modest. She's done some really incredible things in her life. But
You're
I just
a
want
Platt
to
partner, Renee?
I am, yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I work a lot with Courtney. So we're her payroll company
okay.
that she deals. Yes. So I've seen you, we've crossed paths, but I haven't, next time if you go to spiritual, I'll introduce myself. So
Yeah, no, please do. And obviously
Yeah.
I can't see faces, so it's hard for me. So
Right.
welcome, and it's a pleasure.
Craig introduced us, Sean. Craig introduced us.
Craig is the best. Craig is
yes,
amazing.
he's great.
Beautiful. So thank you, Renee. Awesome. Vivian.
Thank you.
We have Ruth Carmazon. We were having such a good time trying to figure out who was famous in our towns. And I got Matt Dillon, which is the only person that I know that was born here. But I'm sure, Sean, you would know that I don't know which show it was, the Dick Van Dyke show.
Yes.
That might have been here, right?
Yes, love Dick
See,
Van Dyke.
even he would know that, I'm telling you.
But I got the naked cowboy.
But she got the naked cowboy.
Wait, who has Dick Van Dyke?
I do, but she got the naked cowboy, which is in New York City, and you could get him at Times Square any day.
Ruth, oh my God, the naked cowboy, Dick Van Dyke. Yes, we are off the reservation. Jump the shark. Vivian, Ruth, talk to me about Ruth. Yes.
I interviewed him, Sean, 20 years ago. Jake, Ruth, in her late 20s, Ruth turned to Chinese medicine to seek answers for her own illness. She owns and operates Karma Bridge Acupuncture and Herbals, a family practice in Hackettstown for the last 20 years. And on her podcast, Circle of Messengers, she discusses how ancient medicine can be effective in a modern world. She believes we can change our blueprint through language, art, love, fun, thought, and medicine. I love it. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you. It's awesome to
Hello,
be
Ruth. How are you?
Sean, I am fantastic. Thank you. Nice
All
to
right,
be here.
fantastic. And how about a fun fact?
So a fun fact. Even though my dog recently passed away, he was a retired sled dog. He'd been to the Iditarod, although he did
Wow.
sleep in the hotel room because he only wanted to run 100 miles and the Iditarod is 1,000 miles. But that dog pulled my butt up the Appalachian Trail and I beat my best time all by myself because the first day I got him, I thought I picked him up at my friend's because he was in retirement and he needed a good home. I clipped him in. As soon as I clipped him in, he started pulling me and he pulled me right up the climb. And I was like, oh my God, I'm beating my best time. This is amazing. I love this dog. So
Ruth, you have the craziest stories.
I know.
You climb mountains. You're like, oh yeah, when I was in the Iditarod, with igloo, what, dude? So amazing stuff, Ruth. So welcome and congratulations on an extraordinary life, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, Vivian.
Well, we might have Adam. I'm not sure.
AG. So we're going. Who are our judges for today? So we're gonna go. Give me a little bit of optics.
Well, we have Jake as our contestant and Sid. We have Ruth as our role player.
Okay.
We have Jeff Hargan, Renee Deal, and we have James Walter, but we don't have him yet.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. So let's drop in and start rolling. And in between, we'll go with two judges for a little bit, and then we'll have our optics going from there. So Vivian, I thank you and appreciate you for everything that you do. You're truly remarkable and amazing. AG, are you going to judge?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So Adam Gugino, is.
Oh, wait. We have James Walter. We have him. He's in the house.
James
Apparently,
is in the house.
his name is Sabrina right now, his wife's phone. So James Walter is an
I am
impact
here.
results coach. Welcome, James.
Yeah.
Hello. He's a results coach who helps entrepreneurs find their inner strength and personal skills to share their message. His mission, though, is to help women move beyond past traumatic events so they develop daily routines to support their massive action plan for success. So welcome, James.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hey, James, thanks for being here, man. And where are you coming from today?
I'm in Savannah, Georgia.
All right. Savannah is in the house. And how about a fun fact?
Fun fact, me and my wife solve all of our differences with nerve.
Wait, you got cut with, I think you
You
said
muted
Nerf?
yourself by mistake, I think.
Yeah. Did you say Nerf?
You're back.
Oh, I lost you there for a second.
So you resolve all of your differences with Nerf, did you say?
Yeah, Nerf guns, like the little kids' guns.
That's amazing. That is an extraordinary thing. Vivian, have you ever shot a Nerf gun at your husband?
I have not, no.
Okay, well, I want you to please try it and like report back and see if it like resolves difficulties. Jeff seems happy. We have Renee that's been with her beloved since 13. We have a lot of relationship advice happening here today, Vivian.
Oh, very unusual. I'm loving it.
Awesome. So
Sean, my fun fact. My
yes,
fun
what is
fact.
your fun fact, Adam Gugino?
Yes, at the end of the month in my previous solar company position, when we would hit a goal, there were several months where we had a Nerf war with imagine 50,000 square feet and like 50 guns or like 200 people running around having a Nerf war. Pretty fun.
That is Adam Gugino. Adam Gugino, my co-founder, partner, friend, took his prior company. He was #1 in the nation for inside sales for a foreign payroll company. And he built his last company from $4 million to $750 million. Inc. 500 magazine, 3 consecutive years as one of the top 100 fastest growing companies in the nation. And he managed between 50 million and 100 million phone calls per year. Adam Gugino, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And so, yeah, let's drop in. And Ruth, are you ready to rock and roll?
I am ready.
Let's do this thing. Jake and Sid, you may have optics, you may not. So here's what we're doing. I know Jake does. Sid, we'll see. So here's the deal. You're going from hello to yes, because Integris, heart-centered influence is like what makes it all happen. Nothing starts until it's a yes, right? We can't have Nerf gun wars in a fun relationship to resolve differences unless we had a yes to get married in the first place. We can't have a business without yeses in sales. We can't raise money for charity without those yeses. We can't create companies. We can't kind of destroy companies, nations, relationships, everything if we don't have like no's as opposed to yeses. So that's what it's all about. We got a lot of no's in the world today, but there's an opportunity for Integris yes, unity, and moving forward. And that's what we're going to like unpack to be influencers, influencing influencers, to merge ecosystems, to make the world an even greater place. And yeah, I've got a 1 or a 2 under this table. Jake, do you think it's a 1 or a 2?
2.
It is a 2, Jake, right? I knew you know that. So Jake has the 2. And for those that don't know, it is a 2, a lot more than it's a 1. I don't know why, it just happens to be that way. So Jake, would you like to go first or second in round 1?
I'll go second.
Okay, awesome. All right, Sid, you're going to be going first. And what you're doing is going from hello to yes with Ruth. Now, Ruth can be Ruth. She could be an ideal client for you, an ideal strategic partner, perhaps somebody contribute to a charity, or anything that is a meaningful yes to you in the world. So the question is, who would you like Ruth to be? And then you're going to have 6 minutes to go from hello to yes, except the conversation is going to be cut in half. And Ruth's going to be like, hey, I got to take a quick call, right? And then she'll come back for the second round. You do not have to set up the second round. And in the first round, we'll be talking about, we'll be assessing with the judges how effectively you opened up Ruth's heart, her listening, and connected with her and put something at stake. So it's like depth of connection, accessing some level of pain. That's scoring round 1. We'll talk about scoring round 2 later, but it's rooted in like you conveying your heroic, unique identity and getting to yes. So with that said, who would you like Ruth to be, Sid?
Strategic partner.
I'm sorry, say one more time.
I think you said strategic partner or
Sure. Yeah. So any specific type, like what would you like her business to be? Like, where would you like her to be located?
somewhere in the US or Canada.
Okay.
Can be something in entrepreneurship related to serving people in education,
Okay.
educating and empowering people with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So Ruth, you're in the business of entrepreneurship, educating, empowering people. Not a whole lot different than what you're up to in the world. So yeah, Sid, you'll hear an alarm go off with 1 minute to go, 30 seconds to go, and time up. All right. And judges, yeah, you're looking for like openness of connection, putting something at stake. And yeah, please, Sid, take us in.
Hello, Ruth. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Amazing. Where in the world are you?
Oh, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Amazing. And you are in the business of educating and empowering people.
Indeed.
Why did you get into that? And what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I got into it to change lives and to serve people. So.
Awesome. And you enjoy it? Is there anything else you could picture yourself doing?
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It has some setbacks, but it's, dealing with people can sometimes be cumbersome, but it's, I enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Nelson Mandela said it, right? Education is the key to change. So I think you're in the perfect industry. Well, I think there's a lot that, we can work out as strategic partners. We educate people and use that as an avenue to eliminate poverty, get people out of, different situations they're in, point them in the right directions. Are you involved in that world at all?
Yes, I am, in terms of creating sustainability and going into neighborhoods to help people get better foods and education and just elevate themselves. What is it that you do?
Yeah, very cool. Well, what we do is we essentially repurpose people's business assets, especially in the educational avenue, whether they're courses, podcasts, motivational speeches, whatever they're involved in, and add in an element of social philanthropy so that we can educate more people, get kids out of gangs, help people, empower themselves, get new jobs, open businesses, and accomplish the things they want to accomplish. Is that something you would be interested in working with me towards?
Yeah, please tell me more. I don't know how or what or what's your, yeah.
Sure. Well, let me ask you another question, sort of on a different scale. Do you pay a lot of taxes every year?
Yes, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Most people do, right?
It's a curious question. Yeah.
Yes. And so one of the unique things that we do is we identify from a business aspect how much taxes people pay and strategize on how we can repurpose some of those tax dollars into impact dollars by donating their time, their courses, their programs, their motivational speeches, anything that can empower people so we have a greater impact in the world with these different communities. And so from a business side, you get tax write-offs, but on the nonprofit and philanthropic side, you're impacting more people.
Hey, Ruth, quick phone call. You're going to be able to bounce back to this awesome conversation with Sid in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Sid, how was that for you?
Really good.
All right. Excellent.
Go ahead, Ruth.
Yeah, very, very interesting stuff. So let's, we're going to kick it over to, at this point to Jake. And Jake, who would you like Ruth to be?
I would like Ruth to be an attorney in the estate planning arena.
All right, beautiful. All right, Ruth, you're an attorney in the estate planning arena. And are you ready, Jake?
I'm ready.
All right, take us in.
Hi, Ruth. My name is Jake. How are you?
I'm Jake. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. So I am touching base with you. I know that you're in the estate planning arena, and I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Like, what is it that brought you to that field?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I saw people who were struggling with the loss of their significant connections in their family members, and they weren't really being able to hold on to what their family has created. And so I was able to help them plan better, so that, you know, it's really service to people is what got me into it.
Okay, awesome. And how has business been, and how long have you been in the industry?
It's been pretty good. It certainly could be better, and I've been in it about 12 years.
What is there, have you had an experience with a client that really moved you? And what was it about that experience that moved you?
Yeah, I would say that I recently met with an 85-year-old woman who lost her husband about 28 years ago, and now she's still able to drive and all of that, but she's looking at moving from her home, and she has 5 kids, and she wants to have something to give them, but she also doesn't want to lose her home. I mean, it's just helping her plan so that everyone's taken care of and she's not left to the state Medicare, the state, you know, the state would take all of her assets, and
Oh my God, yeah.
she's kind of stuck in this position because she's older now and didn't, you know, the planning probably should have started years ago, but that's been, it's a little heartbreaking, because if she had met me, you know, 10 years ago, we would be in a different place than we are now.
So do you think that there's a lack of financial literacy out there in terms of clients just knowing this information prior to ending up in that situation?
I would agree that there's probably a lack of financial literacy. I also think that it's probably, you know, finances are linked to emotion.
Right. Yeah. So what we do is we help attorneys in your position, where you have obviously your for-profit business, but create an educational center where you can help people become educated on things like accounting, or a resource of the nonprofit could be life insurance, and in your case, estate planning, so that this way we can help prevent these situations from unfolding. Because even if she was financially literate, she would still have the ability to utilize your services. It would just be in a more, let's say, buttoned up fashion, taking preventative measures instead of dealing with, you know, what's potentially unfolding now.
Hey, Ruth, you got to grab a quick call. You bounce right back to Jake, okay?
Okay.
All right. Jake, how was that for you?
Amazing.
All right.
It was a great
Awesome.
phone call.
Cool. And Ruth, how would you assess depth of connection with each, and maybe a quick number for Jake and Sid?
I thought it felt good. With Sid, I feel like we connected right away, and then I think a question of mine threw him off, and he wasn't able to take it a little bit deeper. So probably like a 7.5. And with Jake, I felt connection. He asked me questions about heart and listened, but didn't really kind of lean into that. Mm-hmm. So there was room, definitely room for more connectivity. And again, I'd give him a 7.5.
All right, excellent. Jeff, we're going to go and judge us. About 35 seconds of feedback or so. You heard an alarm 30 seconds in. And let's go about 15 to 20 seconds of what worked, 15 to 20 seconds of what could be optimized, and a number on a scale of 1 to 10. And again, we're assessing depth of connection and putting something at stake in this first round. So Jeff, what do you have for Sid? Count down 30 seconds. Jeff, are you muted?
You're all right.
Yeah,
Here we go. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So yeah, for Sid, I liked how everything went. It was kind of fast, in my opinion, for the emotional connection. There were some access points that could have been taken and expanded upon, and so it was a bit rushed. I I think a couple questions were just briefly asked and explained. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next call, the next portion of it. I'm going to go ahead and go a 7 on that for the connection score.
Okay, and how about for Jake?
For Jake, I actually liked his tonality. So he seemed very empathetic and concerned more of what Ruth had to say for her clients, and that was going far for me with the emotional connection. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher on that. I'm gonna give Jake an 8, his connection.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Renee, what do you have for Sid?
So actually, I felt like Sid made his connection like immediately, which I liked. Like I felt that he like was building rapport and, you know, more taking time. So I liked, you know, how he was making it more about her than he was about himself. So,
Cool.
you know, asking her like what she liked. So
what do you have for a score?
I had an 8.
Nice. And how about for Jake?
I felt like in the beginning he was like, I thought he rushed it more in the beginning, and that the rapport building came more a little bit later. So like he kind of went right into it a little bit, and I like the other way better. That was just, so I gave him a 7.
All right. Thank you, Renee. And James, what did you have for Sid?
You're muted.
Down 30 seconds.
There we go. For Sid, I really liked what Sid did with the connection, and he also tapped in with the pain of Ruth talking about taxes. But he did lead the conversation by kind of leading into it with the initial question. I think if he would have let her kind of tell her more about herself without that initial lead, she would have been able to get more connection out of it. But his NLP, the phrases he used were great. Repurpose, impact, communities, all of those were great things. So I'm going to give Sid an 8.
Nice. And for Jake?
For Jake, once again, he did a great give and take. He connected right off the bat with his questions, and his questions showed experience with the case study, which I really liked. And he got feedback from her that he could use talking to her. You know, he asked how everything was going, and she said good, but it could be better, which is huge when talking to a potential client. And he also got her experience in the field, which was 12 years, which is also another thing that you really need to know. But there was definitely more. I think the timing kind of got to him a little bit, and he started to rush it a little bit more towards the end. There was definitely more room for connection, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a 9.
Beautiful. Great job, guys. Thank you to our fantastic judges. Wonderful job first round. And Ruth, are you ready for round 2?
Yes, I am.
All right, excellent. So in this round, Jake, are you ready to rock and roll first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's going to be continuation of round 1. And judges, what we're assessing this round is how effectively do Jake and Sid share their heroic, unique identity, like who they are, what they're up to, not only through the words they utter, their body language, their vocal qualities, their energetic variance, their fun, aspirational goddess Zeus energy, just like, yeah, it's like energetic transfer being received by Ruth. So she sees her future potentially in them. So they're congruently unique. So she's curious, leading to a yes and handling any objections that she might have. So Jake, you got 3 minutes. Ruth is back.
Amazing. Well, happy to have gotten a second call with you, Ruth. How are you today?
I'm doing really awesome. Thank you. It's nice to hear from you.
Amazing. Yeah, so I didn't have an opportunity on last phone call to get into how I got into this business and how I've been able to kind of allow my artistic ability to show up in impact and income, which transmutes on over to our clients. When I was younger, I grew up in Miami, and I got into a lot of trouble as a youth. And what I ended up seeing as an adult is I was unable to deal with trauma or pain, which would manifest itself in some pretty harmful ways, like crime and violence and things of that sort. So now God has put it on my heart to be able to reach youth. And now I do, as a result of having this symbiotic relationship between philanthropy and income, and creating that symbiotic relationship between educating and empowering through the nonprofit, serving and delivering through the for-profit. I am now energized to wake up and do the same day-to-day that I would do, but I still now am able to reach kids in prison and on their way out of prison. So hopefully this creates a nexus in your mind of the potential that could potentially come to life as you plant that seed of having financial literacy as your philanthropy, and then the for-profit business of providing estate planning services.
Thank you. That sounds really like I love how you transform the negative into the positive, but you're still using the root and the foundation of what you had into blossoming into this powerhouse. So thanks for sharing that. That sounds awesome.
Thank you. So this is the beauty of this is most people have some sort of mission or something that they'd like to accomplish in this life that provides them a level of fulfillment, but there tends to be a gap between what you're doing and that impact. And a lot of times, and this is what I was thinking for a very long time, I will get to it when I am financially stable or when I'm financially capable. And a lot of times when we take that first step and step with our best foot forward, we are provided that energy to get to that next level because of that energy that we get in return for putting that good energy out into the world. Does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely. Are you only based in Miami?
No, so I used to live in Miami. I'm currently in Phoenix, but this is available in the program that we offer with the grant that we've put together is available in 55 countries.
Oh my gosh.
10 seconds to go.
Wow.
So okay. This has been an amazing call and look forward to our next phone call.
Me too. I'm involved with a couple of nonprofits that it sounds like there's a synchronization. We should talk. So
amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time today. Have an amazing week.
Jay, excellent job. Super
Thank
interesting
you, sir.
Dynamics and what you're up to. How'd that feel for you?
Felt amazing. I felt a little more in flow on this time around.
Cool. Well, awesome job. Awesome job, brother. All right, Sid, are you ready for round two? Because Ruth is back and she's ready to hear more.
Hey, Ruth, thanks for coming back after the phone call. I take it went well?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I didn't get a chance to share my story of how I ended up in the educational field before, but it was a lack of education that actually inspired me to become an educator. Many years ago, about 15 years ago, I had a successful business that through a lack of education, actually I ended up going bankrupt because I did not know the strategies, about financial strategies, about how to protect my business. And so this was in my early 20s. I had a super successful business with no strategies and no education and no one reaching out to me to empower me. I ended up losing my business. And so that inspired me actually to go to law school, become a lawyer. And now that is something that is very powerful to me, near and dear to me, to educate business owners. And in fact, even, what we spoke about, impacting communities so that people have the knowledge, the skills, and the solutions they need and access to people like us to be able to go out there and seek the solutions they need. Is that something that would make sense to you to partner up on a strategic level to sort of put our brains together and offer a variety of solutions that we can educate people on?
I'm certainly interested in hearing more. I'm still unclear about how we would partner or what that looks like, but definitely thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and I think that is essentially, creating an educational platform where we put together courses and programs about different topics and enabling businesses to collaborate with us and your clientele from your educational field, some of the clientele that we have, and being able to give access to individuals who need it, whether they're business owners, whether they're entrepreneurs, and then even what I spoke about earlier, being able to repurpose some of our tax dollars so that we're donating at a business level to our nonprofits to this educational platform, being able to get a charitable deduction on the business. So that way we inspire other business owners as we go on this quest to donate their time, their resources, their intellectual property, get the tax benefits, and at the same time, change more lives and impact more people and educate more people. Does that make a little bit more sense to you?
Yes, it does. And I love the idea of redirecting tax dollars for the benefit.
Yeah, it's something that the IRS actually promotes. Many people don't understand complex tax codes, but that is something that I think we can definitely, align on, help both sides. It's a win-win for everyone, for us, for the ultimate customers, and of course the beneficiaries, so the people who get access to this education, because we're going to be changing not just lives in a short-term time frame, but a long-term mentality, a long-term time frame as well.
Awesome. Last 10 seconds, Sid.
All right, Ruth. So any other questions for me before we jump on another call and take this one step deeper as we collaborate here?
No, I don't have any other questions right this second. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks for jumping on. Talk soon.
Sid, super interesting. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay. Awesome.
Ruth was a really good role player.
Awesome job. So let's drop in and see what we have with the judges. Let's start with Renee. Renee, what did you have for Jake?
I like Jake. I love the story he told, how vulnerable he was about expressing it, and just the passion that he has about his business and what he's doing. So he did a good job of letting her know who he was. So I gave him a 9 for it.
And how about for Sid?
They both did a really good job. Sid was very open and honest. You could feel, his heartfeltness, and, I liked towards the end too, that he also, explained the benefit of what it was going to do, not only, her personally, but for her business life. So, I gave him an 8.
Awesome job. So thank you, Renee. James, what did you have for Jake?
For Jake, I love the story that he had, the vulnerability that he shared. He went to a personal level with talking about his own personal past, and that allowed her to connect with him on a level. And once again, the words that he used, kids, God, seed, all of those were great linguistics to kind of attach that connection. And his energy could have been a little bit better, but I felt that he was really relatable, so I gave him an 8.
Nice. And how about for Sid?
For Sid, I thought Sid stepped it up on this one. I thought his story really tied in, and the consistency of him tying in the taxes. Once again, the message throughout kind of stayed consistent, which I really appreciated. But when he went to tie it in the first time with the partnership, I felt that he tied it in too early, to the point where she had to kind of explain that she didn't even know what that would look like yet. So I gave him an 8 as well.
All right. Excellent job, sir. And Jeff, what did you have for Jake?
Okay, so for Jake, I'm just going to stick to the energies alone. I heard a lot of goddess energy. The goddess energy was really strong. Also, the aspiration. I heard a lot of aspirational energy coming out. And then near the end, I was catching a bit of Zeus, because he made some a little bit of the stamps, like what he really believed in near the end. So those energies stood out to me in that way, and I'm going to give him an 8.5 on that scale. And
Sid?
For Sid, I'm going to say he was really strong in the Zeus and aspirational. Those were the strongest that stood out to me. And then the goddess also came out as well, because there's passion that he was talking about in his story. So I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Excellent job. All right. Wonderful job, guys. I'm going to drop in for a second. Sid, can we role play a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So how about I'll be you, and you be, just an attorney named Joe. Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay. So, yeah. Hey, Joe, thanks so much for seeing me today. I'm really grateful. How are you doing? All this Corona craziness, like what's happening with the practice? What's going on?
Yeah, thanks, Sid, for giving me a call and checking in. It is pretty crazy times. I've had a drop in business. People don't want to spend an attorney, but I think we'll survive. We're strong-hearted people here, hardworking individuals.
Oh, awesome, man. And can I ask you this? I know you've been around for a bit. I know your practice has, 3 or 4 attorneys, right? Like, and you work super hard. Like, what's your ultimate vision for the practice? Like, what are you up to in the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we were having an internal discussion about that and trying to figure out if we need to switch gears, switch practices, consolidate our office into a smaller location. And that's a good question. I think ultimately we may even decide to add in a few different practice areas to increase our income so that we don't have to fire anybody and keep our office. So that is something we're looking forward to doing.
Yeah, awesome, man. And I know you've been practicing a while, and I know there's a lot of things that matter to you about the practice, about the world. Like, what is it really about? So ultimate vision, everything. Like, I get the practice, but what's the impact? What's the legacy that you're moving towards?
Yeah, good question. I mean, we offer a few different solutions as lawyers, and what we do has real meaningful impact in people's lives. We save, alleged criminals. We do criminal law. We do estate law.
I didn't know you did criminal as well. Why do you do that? Like, what's it about for you in that space?
Yeah, a lot of young kids get into bad situations, and they need someone who can guide them the right way, give them a second chance in life. And I think there are good attorneys out there, and we want to be role models, being able to not just get somebody out of a charge, but also guide them the right way so that they don't repeat the same mistakes and truly change the way they behave. So that's something that really impacts us a lot.
Yeah. And can I ask, and I know we have about a minute to go, but I'm just so curious, like, why people do what they do? Like, why?
No, I think that's a good question. From all the clients that we've had, I think it matters based on what they're taught at home, plus what they see on the media. Sometimes they're just misguided. They have a lack of either knowledge, education, money. And so people are pushed into desperate situations where they do stupid things. And we want to be able to redirect them into the right way by offering some of our solutions.
Yeah. And when you do, like, how does that feel?
Feels amazing. We have clients come back 5-10 years later and thank us who are about to go to prison. We got them out, and they're successful business owners, pillars of the community, involved in charity, all kinds of amazing stuff. So it adds a lot more meaning into what we do.
Yeah. And just the last few seconds here, is it okay to just like share a bit about what I'm up to? Because I want to acknowledge you first for just leading an extraordinary life. And I think sometimes we can get so busy in our practice and deal with all the stuff that we're dealing with that we forget, like, you're changing lives in your community, in people, generationally. So I acknowledge you and thank you for that impact on the world.
Appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. And so final for me is just, this is kind of what I'm up to, is working with people like yourselves to realize that the amount of taxes they pay, it doesn't have to work that way. And it could be completely appropriate, legal, moral, and ethical. And not only that, but impactful in shifting lives for people by creating training programs, platforms, donating things, having community impact through 501c3s. And it takes a little bit longer than 3 minutes to explain it all. But if you're interested in even having more impact, changing more lives before they get into a criminal situation and have other problems, I'd love to sit down and spend about 15 minutes with you. I don't know. So how would you feel about that?
That's a fantastic idea. And it's exactly what we need as a firm to sustain ourselves and have a deeper impact in the community. So I love that idea.
Yeah, I think that's the critical issue, is that it could keep more money in your pocket and have massive impact. So not only you stay in business, it could open up a whole nother portal, not only impact, but business and revenue. And I look forward to talking to you. Joe, thank you.
Likewise. Thanks, Ed.
Okay. So Sid, is that who you are? And how did that feel for you? How was that for you being you?
It was exactly how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
It's perfect.
Oh, awesome, brother.
It was really good. I think you made that deep connection first, get the, other individuals to speak about what connects to them. And I think that was really good. Good segue.
Yeah, heart to heart, brother. All right. So, and thank you for being here today. And, how can people find you, and how was your experience today on The Real Raw?
I love it. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. This is something, actually, as we're talking here, I've been taking notes to improve what we do in our business. And this is an amazing idea. It's something that I'm inspired to even do as part of our nonprofit, one of our nonprofits that helps entrepreneurs, give them this, level of connectivity to other entrepreneurs. And this is like an internal talk that board members generally have that people don't give in terms of feedback. So I think what you're doing is amazing. I encourage more people to come onto the show and do this role playing with you guys. This is incredible.
Well, thank you. And we're doing, like, there's TED and TEDx, like we have the Raw Open, and we're doing these and expanding. So yeah, I think there's a lot to talk about. So thank you. Jake, thank you, brother. And great job. Thank you for all you're up to in the world. And I mean that. I know your story. I don't know every detail, but you shared it. Massive impact. And like, if people said, so thank you for that. And like, hey, should I go on that Real Raw thing? Like, what would you say? And how was your experience?
Yeah, I would say if you want to engage with people in a new, fun, educational way, you have to do Real and Raw. So it's every time that I've come on here, sometimes you don't know what to expect, which is the fun part. Meets my need for uncertainty and variety. If anything that's done, if we take what we learned from Tony, and Tony says, if you meet 3 of people's needs, it becomes a what?
An addiction.
An addiction. So if you're meeting all 6 of people's needs, what is that?
A super positive addiction.
There you go.
Well, thank you, brother. You're amazing. And I look forward to connecting. I'm going to be with Tony World this weekend. There's a Lions in Arizona. So I'll be.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'm here.
Yeah, I'd love to connect if we could. I'm not sure of the timing, but that would be amazing. So great job, Jake. Yeah. So Renee, thank you for your contribution of time, energy, judging. How was today for you?
I really liked it. I liked seeing, how they interacted. And then I also, I liked that with you, like when you were like, okay, you made it really about the other person so much. So it was I learned a lot.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that.
No, thank you. And one of the things we talked about,
good experience.
Yeah, thank you for Renee and everybody, is that so often we think that the way that we need to convey the beauty, the heart-centeredness of what we're up to in the world is by talking, right? And that's just how we're trained. But so much of conveying who we are and connecting with people is just about listening and giving them what Oprah said, which is, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. That's why she said she held the microphone for 30,000 people. Those are her words. And so we give that to people. It helps create a clear picture and perspective for people on what and who we are. So thank you for that acknowledgement, Renee, and appreciate you very much. Thank you. And James, how was today for you, sir?
Oh, I absolutely loved it, man. It was really good. It was interesting to see theory meet the reality of role playing. That's one of my favorite parts about role playing, is you can talk about it all day, but once you put it into the reality, it changes, and that's what role playing allows you to see.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson said, my friend, right? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face, right?
You got it.
So yeah, putting it on the field and playing things through and working it out. That's what it's about. So thank you for your contributions today.
I appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate you. So Jeff, how was today for you, my friend?
Sure, this was just a blessing to be on the raw role play here as a judge. Live experience is definitely different than listening or reading. When I actually participate, it's a whole different level of learning. And I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to come on here on this platform.
Well, thank you for your contributions. And it's about like influencers influencing influencers to make the world a greater place. And all you fine folks are doing that. And Ruth, beautiful job today. Thank you for stepping into the role play. And how was today for you?
Thank you for having me. It was great. I mean, just being a part of other people's hearts really is touching. So it just shows me I'm not alone in the world, reaching out to people in the community and wanting it to be a better place, the world to be a better place. So that was really awesome. Thank you, guys.
It's a beautiful thing. And if we're not out there communicating with people, sharing our heart and truth and adding value, then nothing's happening. So it was the real raw. It was a beautiful Why Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. And if this is the beginning of the journey, amazing. Or I'm sorry, the end of the journey, amazing. But hopefully it's just the beginning. We have a lot of stuff to do together. Look forward to working with you and also thinking about like, what do we do with our Integris influence? How do we create scale and leverage through it and acceleration? Well, that's a story for a different day. And thanks. And we'll see you soon.